Hello everyone, it's T, and today I'm making a video on how to get research experience without actually becoming a research assistant. Now, we all know how competitive it is to get a research assistant job role, and this is why I'm making this video. It was actually requested by some people in my Instagram DMs, so I hope you find it useful. Now, the target audience, you could say, for this video are both students and graduates. Students who might currently be doing undergrad or postgrad and are either looking to plan for research experience in the future or might actually be willing to do some alongside their degree, and even graduates who might actually be working full-time, so full-time roles like support worker, healthcare assistant, or even some PWP roles, but them roles actually don't have any research experience. Then maybe they're more clinical led work roles. So I hope that you do find this video helpful. As always, I would really appreciate it if I could get some feedback. I love feedback, positive or negative, and I would really appreciate it if you could actually subscribe to this channel if you're finding the videos useful, and also leave some comments down below with some feedback. If you don't want to do a comment, then I'm happy to receive messages in my Instagram DMs as well. This page here is just to show you when I actually started gathering research experience. So you can see here that it started actually during my dissertation, or at least I believe so. But I would say most skills were actually gained during this MSc Health Psychology dissertation year. I'm not going to talk too much about this page. This is just to show you the years and my research journey, but I am going to go on to the next page and start talking about it in more detail. I didn't do a publication of my dissertation, but it is something that can definitely be done, and I know people who have been successful in having this done, and that would be amazing experience before or even just as soon as you've graduated from uni. So if it is a possibility, definitely go ahead with it. The reason why I've put this in here is because I feel my dissertation really gave me the skills to go forward, and really gave me the skills that I then further used when I was actually looking to do a publication myself. These are just some tips to remember if you are looking to do a publication of your dissertation. So, communicating with your supervisor, making sure they're aware of your plans, making sure that they're aware that you are looking to do a publication, getting the support from them. That's going to be essential for both the dissertation and your mental well-being and health, because it is quite a tough process. Goal setting, so outlining when you are going to be achieving certain targets, like when are you going to look for publications, when are you going to have a draft, and so on. Aiming for smaller journals, so don't get disheartened if you get rejected by, for example, BPS, quite a big journal, of course. A publication in any journal is just as amazing, especially at that level. When you're doing it at your undergrad, it's still great. And most importantly, not to give up when you do get critical feedback. I learned this the hard way. So yes, these are just some tips. MSc Master's Dissertation. Now, this is where I was successful. I was successful because I actually knew it was a possibility. Like I said, during my undergrad, I didn't know that dissertations could have turned into publications, but at this point I was. So from the very beginning, I was very clear that I was going to attempt to try and get a publication out of my master's project known as dissertation. So it is possible, and it's still great experience, and it looks great on a DCLIN application, for example, or any research role that you're looking to get into, and it's possible. So some of the things I've learned during this process are outlined here below. So it's very similar to the previous slide. Number one, communicating with supervisor. I was very clear and explicit with my supervisor from the start that I needed her support, and that I really wanted to do a publication. Now, my master's dissertation was very similar to my BSc dissertation, and that actually worked as it was a benefit for me, because my supervisor wanted to see some evidence if he was really going to offer me the extra support and go this long way in trying to do a publication. So I actually printed a hard copy of my dissertation and gave it to her, which she read and then said she is willing to actually go ahead and support me in supervision to actually do a publication of this research. Goal setting, again, very important. You know, I had dates, approximate months, everything set out from the start. I'm not saying that everything was met, but actually having a plan from the start really motivated me and kept me going throughout the whole process. Aiming for smaller journals, so we were rejected by big journals at the start. You know, it was the constant critical feedback. We actually opted out of some journals then and went for the smaller ones where we were more successful. Last but not least, don't give up. Again, like I said before, you are going to get a lot of critical feedback. You know, I remember my supervisor actually saying that she herself experienced so much critical feedback, and she's been doing the jobs for many years, published so many research. Key thing is just, you know, keep the perseverance up and don't give up and keep trying, but make sure you do get support if you're struggling. Make sure that you do speak to your supervisor. But it is definitely possible, and I actually got a statistic here. I was looking online to see how many dissertations actually get published, and apparently 25.6% get published. So that's showing that it is a possibility and it can definitely be done. So next, let's talk about other volunteering opportunities you could do during university. Some that I know some of my colleagues did as well. So number one is actually emailing surrounding universities. So I went to Liverpool, but actually emailing Manchester, for example, or even emailing other universities in Liverpool, what was a possibility. You know, just emailing the psychology course leads or lecturers, and just emailing asking that, have you got any opportunities? Are you looking for anyone to support you with research experience? I actually know someone who was doing the course with me, the BSc, was successful this way, emailed the university and then did research experience with them, and the research was then, it was turned into a publication, and this was before, you know, this individual had even graduated from university. So it is possible. Two is just looking out for advertisements on university emails. Some of them do pop around. Again, similar to advertisements on social media, I know recently there's been a lot more on Facebook groups and LinkedIn, so do keep an eye out for them. I just saw one recently actually for research experience at UCL. Again, possibility, and yes, you know, do have a go at doing it. And last but not least, speaking to lecturers. So this could actually even be lecturers in your university. It doesn't have to be your dissertation supervisor, even other lecturers, just asking around if they are working on a research project. And it could be something simple as you're just doing participant recruitment, or, you know, sampling, or even the results section. It might lead to a publication, which will then look great on your CV or personal statement. Now, moving on to voluntary work after university, so working full-time. I didn't actually knew this was a possibility, although I have continued to publish my master's dissertation, so it was a possibility for me. But I always wondered, how could this be possible for, like, PWPs, for example? In my previous service, there was no research opportunity, and I really miss doing research. But actually, to my understanding, I've gained further knowledge now, and now maybe because I've worked in 2 different services, I know that it actually is a possibility. So this is why I put speaking to line manager or senior about research opportunities. So in my current service, I actually do have opportunity to work on research projects, and I am doing that way. So I'm continuing to publish research my master's dissertation, and I'm also working on voluntary research project through my PWP service. So it's all about maybe what service you work for. I can completely appreciate that some services might not have the opportunity. In that case, there's no harm in asking, I guess, if your line managers do know about any opportunities. Again, looking out for advertisements. I know some colleagues of mine who've been successful in doing this, but you do have to bear in mind that you will be working full-time, and you will probably have to spend some of your additional spare time in doing research work, which I know isn't for everyone. So it's really about what you value, and if you really want to do full-time work alongside doing research experience, possibly in your free time. Last but not least, getting involved with audits or service evaluations. This is definitely possible as a PWP. And again, you gain some great skills, similar skills as you would working as a research assistant. That's the end of this PowerPoint. Purposely, I tried to make it shorter because I know my previous two presentations were extremely long, and I honestly do not know how to make it shorter. If anyone's got any tips, I would love to hear them. Even with this one, I feel like I could have included so much more information, so much more personal experience, but I'll try to make presentations shorter and make a few rather than just put everything in one, which I know can be quite disengaging. Anyway, that's the end of that. I hope you found it useful, and as always, it would be great if you could sort of like, comment, and also subscribe to this channel. And if you've got any questions, comment down below or send them on my Instagram, the Psychology Practitioner page. Thank you.